Hi, good morning. I'm talking to Shalamit Lando today. Shalamit is an integrative psychotherapist. Hi, Shalamit. How are you?
Hi, Joanne. I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Shalamit, I'm sure a lot of people are asking themselves, what is an integrative psychotherapist? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll tell you what. I just made it up because what I do is a little bit more complex than conventional therapy. And I didn't find another word. It's not my mother tongue. And I didn't want to be called like a holistic therapist because holistic is a name that implies all kinds of alternative, new agey kind of stuff. I don't do new agey. I am very psychotherapeutically oriented. So I don't want to sound new agey. It's just that what I do is way wider than the conventional psychotherapist because of my own story, really. That's how I got there.
And what type of people could come to you? What sort of problems could a person come to you with?
So actually, I work with almost every kind of problem. I work with the person and not with the problem. But I can tell you that, for example, if somebody needs help with addiction, I tend to refer that kind of person, not the person that I just don't like working with addiction. It probably pushes my own buttons. And I don't trust it, so I don't trust myself with that kind of issue, so that I don't work with. But other than that, I work only with adults also. I don't work with children. I probably also have my issues there, like I find it difficult to connect with children, therapeutically speaking. So I work with people who have gone through difficult things or are going through difficult things, from my boyfriend is leaving me all the way to heavy trauma because I work with PTSD a lot, have worked with PTSD a lot, for post-trauma. That's what PTSD is.
And if somebody, let's say, was suffering from anxiety, let's use me as an example. I don't like to fly. Okay, would I be able to come to you to deal with my anxieties and what would happen in a session with you?
Okay, so first of all, I work a lot with anxiety, a lot. What kind of thing would happen in a session? It really depends how I hear you, what you bring, what is the way you relate how you relate to your story and to what causes the anxiety. And then I would work either with EFT, with EMDR, with NLP, all these letters. It's all kind of different approaches, psychotherapeutic approaches to trauma, anxiety, fear, anything and everything, really. As I said, I would work with you. I wouldn't work with the thing that you bring, but you, and so I would hear you very well, very carefully how you express your anxiety. By the way, I was actually trained as a body-oriented psychotherapist, so for me everything is mind-body. It's not something in my mind that is going on. It's not things that I'm thinking about. Everything is what I think affects the body, affects the emotions. What I'm feeling affects the body, affects the mind. Everything is very, very, very together. And that's evident to me and probably to you and to everybody who would think about it for a minute. If I have pain in my head, that's going to make me think, oh, what's going to happen next? And then my mind goes there, right? And it's affected by it. And then my emotions, I'm going to feel anxiety, I'm going to feel fear, I'm going to feel sad, I can't do that, whatever. So everything is really interconnected. So first of all, let's say you bring your anxiety to my room here. I will hear how you talk about it. I'm going to see how it is presenting in your, like how is your body right now as you talk about it. I'm going to ask you about how you're feeling it, where you're feeling it in the body. And then from there, I probably even will muscle test you to know what your unconscious mind right now accepts as a more beneficial way. Because if I have 3 or 4 or 5 ways of getting into the anxiety, to tap into it and to make a change there, I'm going to ask your subconscious mind what is more available to accept right now. And so I would go with that.
what do you think the importance is on positive thinking? Do you think positive thinking plays an important role or could it help in anxieties?
It's a very good question. Listen, a negative thinking affects your body, affects your physiology, for sure. If I'm going to be thinking, everything bad can happen to me from now on, I am going to be in constant stress. So for sure, a negative thought is going to affect me. Does just positive thinking affect my whole of my physiology? It will affect it for the good. Will that be the solution to the problem? If it's something like PTSD, it's not going to be enough. If it's something, what?
Sorry, carry on.
I thought you asked me something. It really depends. It depends on what you're wanting to tackle.
Okay. So let's use the example of being afraid to fly. Is it enough just to say, be positive and everything will be okay? Or do you think that somebody who has that deep-rooted fear would need more than just, let's say, positive thinking?
You said that you have fear of flying, right? How does just being positive about it has worked for you?
It hasn't.
That's your answer, isn't it? So,
Thank you.
It works when it works. Does it really work? If I really am panicked about flying, just convincing myself everything is going to be all right, I'm going to have a terrible flight. Why bother? You can do something else and get rid of that freak feeling. It's beyond just thinking everything is going to be okay. It sounds like, your husband saying, oh, come on, stop it. It's not going to be okay. That doesn't really work. I mean, you can trick your mind a little bit, but that's not going to do it.
Thank you, Shulamit. Thank you so much for talking to me.
My pleasure, Joanna. Thank you for interviewing me.
Bye.
Bye-bye.